Hey guys, it's Stephen here back with another video. I know what you're thinking, where on earth are you? I'm actually at the work office where I do for my day job. I've got a bit of time to kill before I go off to do a podcast with the Blue Moon podcast. So I thought I'd record a quick video here, hence why I've got a webcam on the go and a mic just here. So it isn't my best setup, sorry about that, but it's better than doing no video because I won't have time tonight to do videos. So I thought I'd do one quickly before I leave the office. So essentially today I wanted to talk about Benjamin Mendy and the news that we won't be, allegedly, according to Sam Lee, signing a left back in the summer, which is obviously a huge news potentially, because I think we all agree, sorry if it wobbles a lot, the webcam's very unstable so it wobbles. I'll try not to touch the desk, that should help it. I think we'd all agree that would be a massive surprise for most of us. Now it's Sam Lee's reported this, and it does go along with a lot of what I've heard in general in terms of City have had doubts about Mendy's kind of reliability and all this kind of stuff. But I'm going to guess in general plans do tend to change, which explains why maybe we aren't going for a left back. Now, apparently the reason we're not going for a left back in the summer is because we might have to spend the money instead on an Otamendi replacement, because he may be leaving in the summer, which I wouldn't blame him at all. Obviously, we have a limited budget of how many players we can bring in, a centre-back and then a midfielder, and who else knows what else it could be. So this one, even though it's not a surprise, it still kind of is a little bit of a surprise, a little bit of shock at the same time. I thought all the world that we'd get another fullback in, and especially if Danilo does go. According to the Gazzetta, he might be signing for Inter Milan on a 4 or 5 year contract, something like that, which obviously would be a shame. He's never really got a chance to kind of play regular football for City, Danilo. I would have loved to see him get a run of games at some point, but it just hasn't happened for him. Now, that means we're basically down a fullback or two, which means we might need someone else to support us there. It also means great news for Zinchenko. Apparently, according to Sam once again, Sam Lee on Twitter, Sammy Goal, he's basically only days away from announcing a new contract. So it's been done basically, but they'll announce it maybe at the end of the season, something like that. But it's just good news, and probably not unexpected news either. Zinchenko has been largely fantastic at Manchester City. I've been an asset to himself. I did a video once where I basically bigged him up loads and loads and loads, and I don't really regret that at all, because he's a fantastic little player. Could he be the new first choice left back? Well, basically, I'll read the gist of this article. Apparently, Guardiola is still confident in Mendy, sees him as a huge asset, and is willing to basically give him one more chance next season. He has had lots of trouble, though. I know this is true. I've heard basically things away from Sam, my own personal sources. Make of that what you will. You can question me, say I'm talking bullshit if you want to. It's your choice to believe me or not. I'm not going to judge you either way. But I'd heard that City were getting increasingly frustrated with his approach to training, and they didn't really trust him to be reliable, and they wanted, even as like recently as 6 months ago, they're looking at maybe signing a new left back in January, but it didn't happen, of course. And essentially, we've moved past that now. It looks like we're going to try and trust him. It's weird because obviously he's a fantastic player, as we all know, but we just don't know his body can handle it. Now, apparently, during these regular tellings off, he's been known to break down in tears, but he's not really shown any signs of changing. Kompany and Bernardo tried to talk to him, and I wonder if he's struggling a little bit mentally in terms of, I guess, injuries get players down. It's a common thing. I don't know about you, but if I spend a couple of days working from home, it drives me mad. Honestly, I go a little bit stir crazy, and I want to get out of the house. I want to do anything, and I'm irritable. I started to question myself. I start to question my ambitions, my life. I make stupid decisions, maybe all that kind of stuff. And he is human. We forget that Benjamin Mendy is only a young lad in a different country who basically uses this kind of buoyant kind of self-confidence to really get him through life. And I reckon, and it's just my theory here, that he's struggling a little bit. I think, in fact, that he's breaking down in tears and reacting quite emotional to this shows that this isn't the reactions of someone who's currently comfortable within their own skin. I reckon, in general, he's struggling with this whole pressure. And after 1 year, you can kind of deal with it. But then the second year, and even though he presents and portrays this a charismatic character, larger than life, I still think he's struggling. And it's always the way. Those people who are larger than life, they're quite often, not always obviously, they're very often, they struggle a little bit on the inside. And I wonder if that's it. Now obviously he's had multiple bans for showing up late and loads of run-ins with staff and all that kind of stuff. And essentially it has been difficult behind the scenes. Guardiola has been cutting a frustrated fig with him. We all know this. Does he deserve another chance? I mean, in general, I don't think we've got much of a choice. We'd make a massive loss on him if we got rid of him. We all know how good he can be as well. Stranger things have happened than a player getting over these injuries and coming back as good as maybe they can be. I don't think we'll see him again this season. Maybe we'll see him back to full fitness after that. But there is obviously issues there. Some of it may be psychological, lots of it physiological, obviously. But I don't think Mendy's a bad guy. I can understand why they like him. I can understand the frustration, but I don't think it all comes from a bad place. There was absolutely no problems with his attitude in terms of other clubs. There was no problem when he was playing. There's no problem during his first season. It's only the second season when it's really kicked in. And to me, it's boredom. It's frustration. It's, I guess, maybe anxiety about his fitness. Maybe in general, it's just... everything's building up, and so many small little factors have come together to make this guy pretty unhappy. I'm just speaking in my personal opinion here. And the fact that he's burst down in tears, according to sources, and struggled on the training ground at times of it all, only backs that up, because frustration kind of manifests in emotional reactions. And he's not an emotional guy by the looks of it, which says it all once again. Now, this is just my take on it. Logistically, it could be a nightmare. Would anyone be surprised to see a bunch of players thrown in at left back next season? If you get a bunch of injuries, could it see maybe another chance for Fabian Delph? Could he stay around next season? Who knows? But there is a Mendy-shaped hole in that defence, potentially. It could be that we just have to go next January, basically, as our left-back window for that, because it isn't an ideal situation whatsoever. Anyway, guys, that's just some quick thoughts on the Mendy thing. I think we are going to need left-back, but I think we're also, at the same time, probably right to maybe give Mendy another chance and trust in Zinchenko. Maybe Delph will hang around, who knows. I would have liked to see us go in the season with 3 left-backs. I know that's unorthodox, but in general, I think Zinchenko's happy to be the squad player, and I think Mendy... And I think Mendy couldn't really argue with that, given everything around at the moment. So let me know your takes on this. Don't forget as well, go check out my new channel, by the way. I've got a new channel where I review films and all that kind of stuff. Go check it. It'll be a link on screen round about now in the end board and stuff. Sorry it's not the highly edited videos as usual. Sorry if the sound quality is a bit naff. I don't know what it's going to be like until I see it afterwards, because it's on a webcam and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully it wasn't too bad. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you make of this. Go and check out my new video on my new film channel where I talk about the Avengers Endgame and the importance of it, because it was really good. I say why it's important, not as good, why it's important as the likes of Shawshank. Trust me, it sounds a bit crazy, but watch the video and logic. Subscribe to it as well. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow with a proper video. This is just a quick one before I head out. In a bit.